few days ago, I made a video talking about the teams that got better so far in the 2019-2020 offseason. Teams like the Rangers, they swindled the Indians, who we will be talking about in today's video. I don't even want to wear my Indians hat because I don't want to reveal that I'm an Indians fan. We're not going to be biased in any way. We're going to give the true grades for all of these teams because for the most part, not one single team on this list today is above a C-, maybe even C+ grade. There's a few Ds, and maybe even an F. So make sure you guys stick around to the end, watch the entire video, leave a like if you want to see more baseball videos. And then one more thing I want to add is there will be an asterisk to this video. So let's say that Josh Donaldson goes to any of these teams, they're going to get significantly better because for the most part, a lot of these teams only have one hole and it's at third base, or maybe it's an outfielder with Nicholas Castellanos or Marcell Ozuna. So this video can change, but for right now, so far, these are the teams that got worse, starting with the Astros. The Houston Astros have not really done anything this offseason aside from watching some of their best players leave, whether it's through trades or free agency. So first off, Garrett Cole, probably their best pitcher going into 2020, even though he came in second place in the Cy Young. I believe that he's gonna have a better season than Justin Verlander next season, so he left. Then they lost Wade Miley. He wasn't the best towards the end of the stretch, but he was a big innings eater. He was someone that you could plug in as the fourth starter, and you could trust that he was gonna have a 3.5-4 ERA and throw anywhere from 180 to 200 innings. He's gone, and also they traded Jake Marisnick for people that, for a guy that probably isn't going to play. So the Astros, in my opinion, they've had a D offseason, a straight up D, not F just yet, but they've had a D. Real quick, I do want to talk about a few teams that have not really done anything, including this team right here, the Pirates. So far, the Rockies, the Pirates, and the Cubs, maybe even the Mariners, they haven't really done anything, so I can't really judge them all that yet. Maybe I give them C's just because they're staying put, they're being average. But the Cubs, what are they doing? They're not really signing anyone. The only thing that has been prevalent in terms of Cubs rumors is the fact that they want to trade star third baseman Chris Bryant to someone who is probably going to use him a little bit better, because Bryant in the last couple seasons, he's kind of dipped in performance. Although he's still a star, he's not the MVP Bryant that he used to be. So the Cubs, what are they doing? Believe it or not, the 2019 World Series champs are not better going into 2020, and the reason is very simple. They did sign Steven Strasburg, so their grade is not going to be as low as the other teams on this list. I'm going to give them a C+, but that's still average. Doesn't mean that they got better, but I believe losing Anthony Rendon is going to be a massive loss for them. In my opinion, Juan Soto might be the favorite to win the 2020 MVP just because he is going to have to be the workhorse. He's going to have to be the Mike Trout of the Washington Nationals because Anthony Rendon, he was the protection for Juan Soto and vice versa. They fed off each other. Now it's going to be Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon in the same lineup. That is going to be something to behold. But the fact that the Nationals did lose their best offensive piece, they are going to be worse. Let's face the facts. When you lose someone like Anthony Rendon, you can't be considered better. Now again, the asterisk to this video is that any of these teams can change in letter grades if they sign one single piece. I don't think that the Nationals are going to go for Marcell Ozuna. They just lost Anthony Rendon. So for me, the best picks for them would be trading for Chris Bryant. They can maybe give away Victor Robles or one of their top prospects, maybe Carter Kieboom. And there's also Josh Donaldson, the bringer of rain. Do you know how many times he made it rain last year? A lot. So I think that he's going to require a lot of money. But in my opinion, it's going to be cheaper than Anthony Rendon. And I think you're getting about the same level of offensive force aside from the OPS. But production-wise, Josh Donaldson, Anthony Rendon, they're a force to be reckoned with. And when you get Donaldson at a cheaper price, maybe it's a win. Who knows? What is going on in Milwaukee? So what we're going to do before we even talk about trades, or maybe we'll kind of funnel that all into one conversation, is we're going to talk about the additions and subtractions because the Brewers, man, they haven't really done anything aside from lose Jordan Lyles, Travis Shaw, Yasmani Grandal, Mike Moustakas, and then also Gio Gonzalez and Drew Pomeranz. Some of their best players have walked in for agency, and in my opinion, just because they signed Eric Sogard, they signed Justin Smoke, and they also signed, who was the other guy? Avisail Garcia, who absolutely rakes. He's one of my favorite players in terms of being a absolute hitting machine because he hits the baseball, it goes 480 feet with ease. He's like a little Miguel Cabrera. But the fact is, Smoke, Garcia, and Sogard does not replace the full potential. Whoa. And that's not even including Drew Pomeranz and Jordan Lyles, probably your best starter and then your second best relief pitcher right behind Josh Hader. So the Brewers, yes, they added a few pieces, but in my opinion, their subtractions, they're going to get a C- from me. Not C, not C+. They lost too many pieces for me to give them a C. The Cleveland Indians will be getting a D+. Yes, I'll be giving them a D+ for the 2019-2020 offseason. I just might be a passionate Indians fan because I still believe that we got swindled in the whole Corey Kluber for Delino DeShields and Emmanuel Clase trade. Now, the positives to that trade is I'm starting to get on board with this idea, is that the Indians won 90+ games with Corey Kluber being bad and injured. But when you replace someone that pretty much did nothing production-wise in 2019, and then you add in another outfielder and a pretty good relief pitcher, some would say that you actually got better, but the fact is it's Corey Kluber. You can't say that he's trash just yet. He had one bad season, and if he comes back for the Rangers and is Klubot, I'm upset. So the one shining light, I guess, is we did get better at second base. We added Cesar Hernandez. He's a switch hitter. He plays great defense. He can run. He's much better than Jason Kipnis, and he's about half the cost. So the Indians, they got better in one instance, but if this trade does not work out, if Delino hits 210 with a 600 OPS, if Clase has a 5 ERA, and Klubot wins the Cy Young, this is an F offseason. 100% F. The Minnesota Twins are another team where they kind of improved, but they also lost a few pieces just like the Brewers, so I'm not sure how it's going to go for the next season. Now, if we take a look at the additions, they've really only signed Homer Bailey and Rich Hill, so I guess that the rotation is a little bit better. They did lose Martin Perez. Josh Donaldson just got an offer from them for 4 years, $100 million, and I believe the Nationals just made the same offer as well. This is all breaking news as I'm reporting this story. I believe it's the Nationals, then the Twins, and then I can't remember, there's a third team involved. I'll go ahead and put up the graphic right now. But if the Twins or the Nationals, if they can sign Josh Donaldson, it doesn't really matter the fact that the Nationals lost Anthony Rendon. Or speaking of the Twins right now, the fact that they lost CJ Cron and Jonathan Scope. The biggest reason why they hit 300+ home runs is because they were getting 30 home runs from their second baseman. They were getting 30 home runs from everyone on that squad. They lost Cron, they lost Scope. If they can replace that with Donaldson and add Homer Bailey and Rich Hill, maybe it's not too bad. You'd actually be up to like a B, maybe B+ offseason if you can do that. And honestly, they'd be my pick to win the Central if they get Josh Donaldson. But for right now, I think the Indians, it might be theirs in 2020. The San Francisco Giants, I think they're actually just making decisions based off a roll of dice. I think they're, yeah. And then whatever number lands, that's who they're going to pick. They lose Madison Bumgarner. They replace him with Kevin Gausman, who can be nasty, but they gave him $9 million. And then they traded for Zach Kozar, and I don't know. The Giants, what are you doing? It's a very, very tiny offseason for such a giant team. Get it? I give them a D. And also, that doesn't even include the fact that they forgot to trade Will Smith last year at the deadline because they thought that they were going to make the playoffs, and then they lose him for absolutely nothing. Nothing. Yeah, the Braves got a free pitcher. Go figure.
I remember throwing the ball against the wall, playing catch with myself, throwing the ball up, hitting it, throwing batting practice to myself. You know what I mean? I believed in myself from a young age. It ain't like I had a dad out there to play catch with me or throw me batting practice. So, I'm proud of myself.
The Tampa Bay Rays traded Tommy Pham, their best overall player, maybe aside from Blake Snell or who's the Charlie Morton. Tommy Pham is an elite baseball player. So, yeah. The Rays, what else happened? They lost Travis d'Arnaud to the Braves. We talked about the Brewers a couple minutes ago. Do you guys know that Eric Sogard and Avisail Garcia were both on the Rays? So when you lose a productive hitter in Sogard, when you lose your probable best power hitter aside from Austin Meadows in Avisail Garcia, and then you also lose Travis d'Arnaud, who raked last year, yeah. I'm sweating because it's I'm just so passionate. I think the Rays, maybe they can get the most out of Luis Urias because they got him in a trade from the Padres, and then they got Hunter Renfroe. I don't know what to make of the Rays, honestly. I give them a C-, maybe a D+ on a good day. The Boston Red Sox, what are they doing? They replaced Rick Porcello with left-handed version of Rick Porcello, Martin Perez. They also added Jose Peraza, but they have not traded David Price just yet, so I don't know what the Red Sox are doing. Give them a C-. They're not any better. What are they doing? The Baltimore Orioles 100% got worse by pretty much shipping Jonathan VR to the Marlins for peanuts. Yeah, they got worse, which I think is the point. So good job, Orioles. The Oakland Athletics definitely got worse as well. If we take a look, they've lost a good amount of pieces. Tanner Roark, Homer Bailey, Brett Anderson, and Blake Treinen. Now, you might make the argument that all of these guys are washed up because they did re-sign Jake Diekman, so it's not like they're not trying to compete. But when you have the Angels making moves, the Astros are still going to be good, and then the Rangers making moves on moves and moves. I think that they've had probably the second best offseason, or maybe the third, right behind the White Sox and the Yankees. The Rangers are much improved. The Angels are going to be improved. The Athletics, they've lost a couple different pieces. Homer Bailey, he's all right. Brett Anderson, he's old. Blake Treinen wasn't great. So maybe it's a win-win. The whole Moneyball approach is still alive. You got to trust them, honestly. There's a whole movie made after him, so they kind of know what they're doing. And then last but not least, a team that I for sure did not think was going to be on this list, the LA Dodgers. They have missed out on pretty much everyone, which is surprising because they're in Los Angeles. Everyone wants to live in LA, California. Maybe it's just that the tax bracket is getting too high and players do not want to go there and give away 50% of their salary. They've lost Hyun-Jin Ryu. They did get Blake Treinen. The A's did release him, and then the Dodgers picked him up. So if he can rekindle anything that he had from 2018, when he almost won the Cy Young as a relief pitcher, the Dodgers might be onto something with the Jansen-Treinen combination. But aside from that, losing Rich Hill, losing Ryu, they have a deep farm system, so maybe they can combat that. With that being said, I will put the D in Dodgers, and that will be the grade of their 2019-2020 offseason, a solid D. Not a D+, not a D-, a D. So yeah, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you agree or disagree with any of my picks, let me know in the comment section down below. And if I forgot any teams, I know I didn't talk about the Mariners or I didn't talk about the Pirates because really they're not doing anything, or the Diamondbacks. They did some stuff. They're a little bit better, but they're not going to make the playoffs. So that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.